Hey everyone, this is James Hux from Hux Law Firm. Since the killing of George Floyd, more and more people are asking themselves, what can I do to help end systemic racism in the United States? They're asking what movies can they watch, what books can they read, what changes can we make to the criminal justice system? And this is understandable because the criminal justice system is where we see the hard evidence of racism. That's where we've seen the videos of police brutality and the videos of unarmed black men, women, and children being killed. But if we focus only on the criminal justice system, we neglect a whole area of racism that I like to call nice racism or subtle racism, which is the type of racism that the majority of African Americans will experience during their lifetime. This is also the type of racism that's really prevalent in the workforce. So in the workforce, the discrimination that happens is essentially two types. There's disparate treatment discrimination and hostile work environment discrimination. The disparate treatment discrimination is what encompasses that nice or subtle racism. This disparate treatment racism occurs most often in the form of different discipline being divvied out to people based on their race. So say a black and a white person are absent the same amount of times, but the white person might get a verbal warning and the black person might get terminated. That's disparate treatment. It could also happen with pay. Say a black and a white person have the same qualifications in the same position, and the black person gets paid $1.50 less than the white person. That's something that happens a lot too. The final way that disparate treatment happens, or the most often, is in job opportunities. So a black person may not be afforded a job opportunity and passed up on a job opportunity that a white person who is less qualified might get. That could be an example of disparate treatment. For hostile work environment discrimination, the classic example of that is a black person being subjected to being called the N-word multiple times at work. No one should be subjected to being called the N-word, but it's something that's still prevalent today, and I've even had cases dealing with that as recently as this year. So you may hear that and think to yourself, well, what can I do about that? What can I do to help stop this disparate treatment discrimination or this hostile work environment discrimination? Well, the main thing that you can do is speak up, right? You can speak up against the discrimination. If you see that your black coworker is being disciplined for something that no white coworkers have been disciplined for, you need to say something about it. If you see somebody making a joke about a black coworker and it's a racist joke, you need to say something about it. Even if you're afraid to speak up because you're worried about your job, know that you are protected. Both state and federal law have anti-retaliation provisions. So if you speak out against discrimination, you would be protected if you were terminated. Now, that doesn't mean that you won't get terminated. Your employer could still try to terminate you. But if they did, you would have a cause of action because you spoke out about it. If you are going to be someone who speaks out about it, I would make sure to also add additional layer of protection to yourself and try to do it in writing if you can. That's all the advice I have for you today in terms of how you can help be an ally right now and steps you can take right now to help end systemic racism in the U.S. I hope that you have the courage to go forward and do this, and I hope that you have a great rest of your day.